So as you can see, I'm working away here at the top. The arching, I've been working on it. You have here, first of all, a long arch, which is the first thing you do, and it's looking like down the centre line, attempting to get that roughly sort of with minimal light underneath. As you can see, it's pretty close. We'll refine it with some thumb planes as we go, but that's pretty close. And then you work your way down the body. As you can see here, I've got this, that's the 6th, that one there's called the 6th, and then there's one across here, 2, 3 is the tightest one. It's quite a big arch in 3, 4, and then 4 is between here, and then 5 is across here. So I've got some templates. This is number 1. Sorry about the finger. I'm not pretending to be a YouTube person. This is number T1, and we put T1 across here. And as you can see, it's getting there. It's pretty close. What we'll do is use the laser. I think I made another video about the laser to try and refine this as we get closer. There's T1, as you can see. T2 I've got here. T2 goes here, and it's getting close. As you can see, it's pretty close. Now, T3 is the one I'm working on at the moment, and this is the steepest one and probably the most challenging one to do because it's right on the edge. And you can see you've really got to come up off this shelf, which is the thickness of the top, and you've really got to come up, and you can see that's getting very close. But of course the trick is to make it a smooth transition, both this way into the other two and back towards this way, not to lose any height off here because we already know that that's about 20 millimeters, which is 4 millimeters for the side plus about a 16 millimeter arching, and we want to put that on there. And as you can see, I've got here T4, and T4 hasn't been done yet. And if I put this on T4, it's not too far. I sort of roughed it out. It's getting there. And T5 is the final one, and it's still got a fair bit of rock. There's a bit of material got to come out in here. So I thought that'd be a useful thing for anyone doing carving a violin top. And you've just got to go at it with the chisels. I find the over here the Tormac to be an outstanding tool, mainly because you can sharpen your gouges on here using a jig that Tormac provides, but really you don't need to do that very often. Mostly you can come here and refresh the top on here and the inside of the curve on here, and I would do this 8 or 9 times, maybe even a whole top, before I've actually got to go back to the stone. And you can look up Tormac videos, there's plenty of them. But this is worth its weight in kangaroo hops. Brilliant bit of kit, and just takes hours off the old sharpening process, which involves, you know, wet stones and you know, the usual sort of fluids and mess that you get here. I hope it's useful. I've done this in a previous video, but I just thought I'd show you. This is just a cheap building laser, and as you can see, I've just finished roughing out, and I did a rough sand. I use Festool sander, and I've got you see there, I can't show because I've got one hand here, this soft pad, and it allows the sander with a bit of 80 grit. You've got to be very careful. Just move that so it doesn't get damaged. It allows the shape to contour. It doesn't do in here, but you've got to do this by hand. So this is the first cut, and here I am with the pencil and the laser, and as you can see, if I rotate this around, you can see it highlighting the edge, and that gives me a baseline. So there we go. That's the baseline. You can see I'll just highlight that in there. That's coming around there. Come over here, and here is the light shining, and you can see the contour map, and you can see that I've cut lower here. I've got to take some out of this area here. There's a big bump here. You can do this by, you don't need all this mucking around. You can tip it with the light on it, and you can pretty much see it. And here's the final contour map, and you can see it's much shallower here. This needs to be cut away. But I did this very conservatively, and it'll move this centre over to here. I largely haven't taken very much off that. As you can see now, I've worked it for a little bit. The light's even around there's a little bit of a dip here, but that's fine. And it's pretty straight across there. And if you look down along it into the light, you can see that it's getting fairly even. I'll now recheck it against the curves to see how difficult this one is, of course.